Hi everybody, welcome to another installment of Scoops and Revelations, in which we examine the lore found in each Doctor Who story. Specifically, we focus on what we learn about the Doctor's background in history and recurring aliens and technology. I'm Dave Ringo, and today we're going to talk about the Tribe of Gum. It's a story consisting of 3 episodes: The Cave of Skulls, The Forest of Fear, and The Firemaker. So what are some of the things that we learn from that one? Early on, Susan clearly states that they have just left 1963, and this helps us to date the previous story to that very year, An Unearthly Child, 1963. The Doctor refers to a gadget in the TARDIS called the Yearometer. The Yearometer, real high-tech name. I guess it tells you what year it is. He also refers to the scanner, and that's cool because that's the first time that he calls his TV screen that, and the name scanner is a name that will stick until this very day. This is the first time that the TARDIS hasn't changed appearance as it lands. Yeah, the first time it stays a police box when it really shouldn't have. Susan gives examples of former appearances. She says it's been an ionic column and a sedan chair, which indicates that she and the Doctor have probably been to ancient Greece and to London in the 17th or 18th century. We have the first use of Doctor Who as a pun. After Ian calls the Doctor Dr. Foreman, the Doctor replies, "Eh? Doctor Who?" Later to Barbara, Ian says, "Perhaps if we knew his name, we might have a clue to all this." The Doctor reveals a little bit about his title when he says, "I'm not a doctor of medicine." Anyway, this concept of the Doctor's name and its meaning, something that will be picked up later on when we hear a lot more about it in Modern Series 7. We still don't know the Doctor's name, though. Susan also says that the Doctor's notebook contains the key codes of all the instruments in the TARDIS and notes from every place that they've been to. Wouldn't you love to get your hands on that? Even though the most common phrase for the Doctor's craft in these early days of the show is the ship, Susan does refer to it as the TARDIS in The Forest of Fear. Something interesting about history here, too. Although it was intended that the TARDIS team in these early days never interfere in history, isn't there some interference going on here? Yeah, one has to wonder, does Ian change history by showing the tribe how to work together as a group? You know, that may have resulted not only in the survival of the tribe, but also its dominance over other tribes who haven't figured out the advantages of working in that fashion. That could very well have changed history. The problem here is that we don't exactly know where or when in the past this story takes place. One version of the script was called 100,000 BC, which may indicate Coburn's intended time setting. In our own history, Homo sapiens first appeared in East Africa around 200,000 years ago. In 100,000 BC, they were just starting to move out of the continent. There was an ice age between 110,000 and 11,700 years ago, and our story probably takes place within that time. But Homo sapiens didn't reach Europe until 40,000 years ago, and they would have needed to come that far north to experience the bitter cold that's described in this story, right? So, seems 100,000 BC is not the most reasonable date for this adventure. Some 60,000 to 70,000 years later would be more realistic. Anyway, those are some of the things I caught in the story. If you thought there was more here, I missed something, please put it down in the description below the video. Next time we're going to be looking at the adventure known as the Mutants, also called the Daleks. So until then, I'll see you next time. This is Dave Ringo. Safe travels in time and space.